major headlines. On our local news, INEC, 2 weeks floating concerns over lack of enforcement of regulatory of Nigeria's richest states. On November 1st, 2021, a 21-story building in the Ikoyi area of Lagos collapsed, in which over 44 persons were confirmed dead. The tragedy continued on November 2, 2021, when a 2-story building caved in Asakpa, London, in the Lekki area of Lagos after a midnight downpour. No casualty was recorded in the collapse, as it was said to be under construction when the unimaginable happened. On November 17, 2021, after 2 weeks of seeming break in the serial collapses, a 2-story building under construction of Flour Mill Estate, Magbon, in the Olorunda Local Council Development Area in Badagry, collapsed, killing 4 within the number of injured persons put at 5 as of the time of the filing this report. According to the spokesman for the National Emergency Management Agency, Ibrahim Farinloye, earlier reported that over 200 persons have lost their lives in major building collapse incidents in Lagos State in the last 7 years. This is just at least 145 buildings have collapsed in the states between 2007 and now. The figure is the summation of casualties in 7 different incidents between 2014 and 2020. It was learned that while the state government had taken sanctions, there had been no known conviction. The Nigeria Institute of Structural Engineers blamed the lack of quality control, quality assurance, and structural inadequacy as possible reasons for the recurring building collapse in the state. Lagos, with a rapidly increasing population of over 20 million people in Nigeria's economic hub, and had witnessed a huge surge in the influx of people from the 35 states in the country, as well as the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The soaring migration and attendant demands for housing units have led to the microwave construction of residential buildings in the recent times, with many experts berating the Lagos State Building Control Agency for lethargy and tardiness in the discharge of its structural oversight function. On our political news this morning, PDP accuses Akeredolu of abuse of office over son's appointment. The People's Democratic Party on the state chapter has accused the state governor Rotimi Akeredolu of abuse of office over his son Babajide's appointment as Director General of a government agency. On Tuesday, Babajide Akeredolu was appointed as the DG of Ondo State's Performance and Project Implementation Monitoring Unit, drawing mixed reactions from different quarters. According to a statement issued on Wednesday, the Ondo State PDP spokesperson Kennedy Perete accused the governor of using state funds to procure a marriage for Babajide. He argued that the appointment was not only an abuse of office, but was also not in the interest of the state. The statement reads in part, the recent appointment of Babajide Akeredolu, Rotimi Akeredolu San, as the Director General of Performance and Project Implementation Monitoring Unit, PPMIU, is a flagrant abuse of office and affront on the people of Ondo State. The name Babajide Akeredolu became known in Ondo State when the state funds were used to procure a marriage for him in Colorado, USA, after the same marriage was consummated in Owo, his father's birthplace. He has since assumed authority as part of the triad of the region of father, wife, and son. The appointment as DG of PPMIU for Babajide, a young man who carries on as though the person voted for as governor, is part of the grand design to finally empty the treasury of the Senate before Akeredolu returns to Ibadan. The PDP also stated that the governor and his family had no empathy for the people of the state, but were only focused on living lavishly off state funds. Perete, however, warned the Akeredolus that their alleged lavish spending will soon come to an end and they would be made to account for it. It does appear that Mr. Governor and his immediate family are bent on living fat on the lean resources of the people when poverty is taking over the land, walking in all 4 legs. There is no further proof of Akeredolu's insensitivity to plight of the people when within 2 years of tenure he organized 3 lavish weddings for his children, all in foreign lands, in Mauritius, Canada, and Colorado, USA. It is very apparent that it is the greed of the first family that is being fed, no longer their needs. Akeredolu, his wife and children must appreciate in this reckless manner was only given to them in trust for the people. They should remember that the day of reckoning is very near, PDP warned. Anambra election, I have grounds to challenge INEC at tribunal, says Andy Uba. All Progressive Congress candidate in the just concluded November 6 Anambra State governorship election, Andy Uba, has said the preliminary check showed that he has grounds to challenge INEC declaration at the tribunal in line with the electoral processes. He also cautioned members of this party not to engage in finger-pointing and blame game as to what went wrong, but to remain focused. The APC candidate, in a statement on Wednesday titled "Andy Uba Thanks the Anambra Supporters," said at times like this there is always the tendency to resort to finger-pointing and self-blame regarding who did what or who did not do ensure a successful outcome for our gubernatorial quest. But I would like to say here and now that that should not be the topic. There is perhaps the more urgent need to focus on the goals of a better Anambra, which was the basis of this aspiration in the first place. Now that INEC has declared the results and announced the APGA candidate, Professor Charles Chukwuma, as winner, I hope that we remain law-abiding, having met with my team, party hierarchy, etc., and analyzed data from our field officers. We can boldly state that preliminary check shows that we have grounds in line with the electoral processes. It concluded earlier reported that All Progressive Grand Alliance candidate Chukwuma Soludo won the election with 112,229 votes, beating Valentine Ozigbo and UBA of APC, who got 43,285 votes. Ifeanyi Uba of the Young Progressive Party, who pulled 21,261 votes, came fourth, while Soludo won 19 local government areas. Ozigbo and Uba won one each. The APC candidates, however, did not win any of the local government areas in the southeast states. The candidates of the PDP and YPP have since congratulated Soludo, but the APC candidate was yet to concede defeat and has rejected the outcome of the poll. He had also served notice of his intention to challenge Soludo during the build-up of the election. Some aggrieved members of APGA, including a former candidate, Chukwuma Ume Oji, has defeated to the APC after the Supreme Court in Abuja sacked him and affirmed Soludo as APGA governorship candidate. Also, the incumbent deputy governor of Anambra State, Nkem Okeke, are defeated to the ruling party from APGA. Many observers had thought the APC would pull some weight and in the election as some political juggernauts left their camp for the ruling party. But the APC candidate failed to win a local government in the 21 local government areas in Anambra election. On our business news this morning, 1,000 amnesty beneficiaries to Field Bayelsa Mega Cassava Processing Factory. The interim administrator of the Presidential Amnesty Program, Colonel Milliard Dixon Dikio, retired, has said that the cassava processing factory in Bayelsa State will train and pap delegates in cassava farming and starch processing. The factory was built by the Bayelsa State government at Ebedebiri in the Shagbama local government area of the state. Diko, who was represented by Special Assistant on Project Godwin Ekpo, spoke on Wednesday when he inspected the multi-billion naira factory. According to him, about 1,000 PAP delegates are expected to be trained in the cassava value chain and employed as outgrowers of cassava stems to feed the factory's operation. He said delegates will learn cassava cultivation, production, processing, equipment maintenance, and other activities in the cassava value chain. This is a 60 metric tons cassava processing plant. It has a huge capacity and it is part of the facility that we will use for our train, employ, and mentor empowerment strategy, he said. The project management consultant for the facility, Mr. Adebowale Ayoade, described it as the biggest industrial starch plant in Nigeria and the second largest in sub-Saharan Africa. He said the delegates will receive theoretical and practical trainings on cassava cultivation and management. He said the factory will buy all the cassava from the delegate farms, adding that they would be certified by the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture. Non-taxpayers can't apply for 5,000 naira housing unit, says the federal government. The federal government has said Nigerians who do not pay tax government are not eligible to apply for the 5,000 housing units built by the Ministry of Works and Housing under the National Housing Program. The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has announced last week that Nigerians could apply for the housing unit in a portal launched in Abuja. Fashola noted that access to affordable houses had remained a challenge for the average Nigerians. The federal government said on the portal that the off-takers must provide current tax certificate/pay slip. It added that the documents must be the most recent copy of your tax clearance or pay slip certificate. Another requirement is a digital copy of valid means of identification, including national ID, driver's license, and passport. The government said mortgage subscribers would make available letters of recommendation from any form of primary mortgage bank. Fashola had said, we currently have over 5,000 units at different stages of completion. The houses range from 1, 2, and 3 semi-detached bungalows and 1 3-bedroom flat. This list selling price for each of these houses will be 7.2 million naira and the highest will be 16.19 million naira. The highest is a 3-bedroom bungalow. It is not just the house but also add along a land along with it. The bungalows are a little more expensive than the blocks of flats which do not have additional land. On our sport news this morning, English Premier League, EPL, why Cristiano Ronaldo left Juventus for Man United, says Dino. Italian legend Dino Zoff has suggested that Cristiano Ronaldo left Juventus and rejoined Manchester United in the summer because the Serie A giant asked him for the moon. According to Dino, Ronaldo couldn't do it all by himself, adding that he is a human being. Ronaldo had just won his 4th UEFA Champions League trophy with Real Madrid when he decided to leave the La Liga giants. The Portugal captain swapped Real Madrid for Juventus in the summer of 2018 in search of a new challenge. The transfer, though, did not go as well as Ronaldo had hoped. 3 years into his contract with Juventus, Ronaldo decided to put an end to his association with the Serie A giants and rejoin Manchester United in England. Ronaldo's time with Juventus was not entirely a failure because the 36-year-old helped the Bianconeri win 5 trophies, including 2 Serie A titles, before leaving Turin for Old Trafford. Thus, Dino has now defended his decision to leave Juventus. It's not about wisdom, but about decisions. In this case, mainly the player, that's the way it is with champions. Then let's face it, he couldn't do it all by himself. They asked him for the moon and they expected it. No mistake, granted. But he too, like us, is a person, Dino told Italian. On our health news this morning, many COPS members are drugs addicts, says Ondo NYSC coordinator. The National Youth Service Corps is called for collaborative efforts from all stakeholders in addressing the increasing rate of drug abuse and addiction amongst COP members. The Ondo State Coordinator of the NYSC, Mrs. Victoria Annie, who expressed worry over the ugly developments, confirmed that the addiction among the COPS members needed to be urgently addressed because the rate was alarming. Annie spoke at the 2021 COPS Employers Workshop in Akure, the state's capital, on Wednesday. The workshop was themed Optimizing the NYSC/COP Employers Partnership for National Development in the context of the new normal. The state coordinator, who stated that many COPS members were drugs addicts, called on the employers of the COPS members to assist in rehabilitating them rather than rejecting them. The stakeholders who attended the workshop had earlier complained that many COPS members deployed in their establishments for places of primary assignment engaged in various acts of drugs, abuse, and smoking of weed in their hemp. Reacting to the complaints, Annie said, for the COPS members that take weeds, that is in their hemp, I need to let you know that NYSC is doing so much. Many of our children COPS members are drugs addicts. I am talking out of experience. Where we are in the orientation camp, we'll tell them that if they were into it, it was an opportunity for them to drop such habits. In this our very last orientation, we had one that was suffering from withdrawal syndrome. And we were managing this boy and he was eagerly wanting to take more. As a matter of fact, when we were going to the orientation center camp, we take so many collaborative agencies, including the NDLEA, counselors, people who help talk to the ones they are really into drugs. She added, I never knew that this Tom sweet, when you put it inside Coca-Cola, it will make you high. I never knew that when they hold a cassava bottle, you won't know that the content is not cassava. Even knowing seasoning cubes that you and I use in cooking, these children will put it inside cassava, drink it, and they are high. In the scheme, we counsel them, talk to them every morning. Another female corps members brought over 100 tablets of diazepam drugs to the club. So the issue of drug abuse is getting alarming. Some will wake up at midnight shouting and disturbing others. We keep telling them that if they are into drugs, they should drop it outside before entering the orientation camp within 3 weeks. And once they could achieve that, they could live a normal life. So when you have such in your employment, please let them become your own children. Help them because so many of them are into drugs. That is the truth. In his remarks, the Director General of the Corps, Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim, who was represented by the Director, NYSC Southwest Area Office, Mr. Tunde Fadairo, said employers had no right to approve the letter or leave or travel of the Corps, saying it was only the state coordinator that could do so. He called on employers to continue to carry Corps members along in their respective workplaces with priority given to their safety. In the course of primary assignments, which is the second phase of the service, employers are expected to make statutory welfare provisions for the Corps members. Before commencement of orientation, Corps employers are expected to submit discipline requests for Corps members stating the number, discipline, and other specifications that will assist the scheme in carrying out postings to places of primary assignments. I wish to remind you of subsisting circular from the federal government which prohibits rejection of Corps members by government MDAs, the DG stated. On our foreign news this morning, British Columbia declared state of emergency due to catastrophic flooding. At least one person has died in British Columbia. The late Premier of British Columbia declared a state of emergency on Wednesday due to catastrophic flooding in the province and said they expect more fatalities in the days coming. The last few days had been incredibly difficult for British Columbians as we've experienced yet another natural disaster, John Organ said at a press conference. Heavy rain, strong winds, flooding have devastated entire communities of our province. Thousands of people have been forced from their homes under evacuation orders, and many others were left stranded between road closures and mudslides. The entire city of Merritt, northeast of Vancouver, has been forced to evacuate due to the flooding and could remain evacuated for a week or more, according to officials. Devastating flooding forced 148 people to evacuate overnight in Abbotsford in British Columbia. Abbotsford Mayor Henry Brown said. Blair, a member of parliament, tweeted in response to the extreme flooding across southern BC. We have approved the deployment of Canadian Forces Air Support personnel to assist with evacuation efforts, supply separate chain, and protect residents against floods and landslides. At least one person has died in British Columbia from mudslides sparked by the heavy rain, the Associated Press reported. A fire has also erupted in Abbotsford in British Columbia. Police said the blaze is blowing large plumes of smoke and they urged residents to stay inside due to the potential of the smoke being so toxic. Just to the south in Washington state, over 1 foot of rain fell in 5 days, flooding neighborhoods, shuttering roads, forcing evacuations, and bringing rivers into major flood stage. So Chris Loved Elder Etu contributed to this report. On entertainment news this morning, Davido, Destiny Etiko, Kulen Remi, other celebrities ask for donations. Nollywood stars Destiny Etiko and Kulen Remi have followed Davido's footsteps as they displayed their account details on the social media account, asking fans to send them money. Earlier today, Nigerian singer Davido asked his colleagues and fans for 1 million naira each to prove their allegiance. Born David Adeleke, the music star, posted a video on his Instagram story calling on those he had helped in the music industry to send him 1 million naira. Davido said, "We rise by lifting others, Abi. Me, I don't rise the lifting others for the past 100 years. So I want to know who my friends are. All of my friends won 1 million naira each. They said we are 30 BG. If you don't send your own, you're out of here, you're gone." In less than an hour, the award-winning singer had made over 53 million naira. Following his footsteps, other celebrities also shared their account details on their Instagram handles, asking for donations. Etiko shared her account details with the caption, "I beg, I no go ask for just 1 million naira. Oh, please, my own friends and lovers, just send 5K to this account and tag me. I will surely be appreciated. Love you guys." Since she shared her account details, the actress has been pasting screenshots of debit alerts on her page as she appreciated fans for their support. Remy also shared his account details on his Instagram page, saying, "I have made you laugh at my TikToks all and all. Send me money. You cannot unlaugh all the laughs." Oh. The actor also shared screenshots of the donations he has received from fans. His screenshots showed that some fans sent as low as 50 naira to his bank account. Big Brother Niger Shine Your Eye second runner-up Perry Egby also shared his account details and displayed screenshots of credit alert. Other celebrities that has joined to ask for donations include actress Nkechi Blessing, comedian Arole, actress Tony Tones, amongst others. At the time of filing this report, donations made to Davido has climbed over 131 million naira. And that will be that on our breakfast news. We'll be right back. Just stay with us. Welcome back. Still on our breakfast news. Highlight of our news this morning. On our local news this morning, reps approved bill to make free child health care compulsory. Collapse of 3-story rise to 3 in Lagos within 2 weeks. On our political news this morning, PDP accuses Akeredolu of abuse of office over son's appointment. Anambra election, I have grounds to challenge INEC at tribunal, says Andy Uba. On our business news this morning, 1,000 amnesty beneficiaries to feed Bayelsa Mega Cassava Processing Factory. Non-taxpayers can't apply for 5,000 housing units created by the federal government. On our sport news this morning, EPL, the English Premier League, while Cristiano Ronaldo left Juventus for Man United, says Dino. On our health news this morning, many corps members are drugs addicts, says the Ondo NYSC coordinator. On our foreign news this morning, British Columbia declared state of emergency due to catastrophic flooding in their country. On our entertainment news this morning, Davido, Destiny Etiko, Kunle Remy, other celebrities ask fans for donations. And that will be that on our Facebook news this morning. Thanks for watching. I want you to continue to subscribe on AYOGEN Online Television on YouTube and follow us and like us on our Facebook and Instagram page respectively. Don't miss out on our latest editions of Breakfast News every morning, live here 8 from AYOGEN Online Television. I remain your host, Makonjola Oluwatosin Esther. You have a very wonderful day.